Welcome to You Can Handle the Truth Tarot. I am your host and reader, Casey Phoenix. Thank you for joining for this reading. As I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards. Let's get into this. This is a collective reading for the new moon in Leo. One thing that I can say, and I'm not surprised, there were a ton of wands that came out in this reading. I'm working with an oracle deck, which is, what's the name of this deck? This is the Sacred Symbols for Divination and Meditation Oracle deck. And I am working with two tarot decks, the Field Tarot and then the Urban Tarot. All right. So what I did, as I shuffle, if I get an intuitive read on something where it's more of a spiritual pull, or I'm being guided to do a spiritual pull, I will pull a card in the middle of shuffling. I did that for each tarot deck. The funny thing is, the first card is the Nine of Wands, obviously fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The second card from the other tarot deck is the Seven of Wands. And then at the bottom of the first tarot deck is the Five of Wands. And at the bottom of the second tarot deck is the 10 of Wands. There is a lot of fire energy here. And Seven of Wands being having the high ground. Nine of Wands, which can be resilience, as it says on this card, also known as the wounded warrior, also known for setting boundaries and being close to the end of a cycle, hence the 10 of Wands. With the Five of Wands, that can be about competition. It can be about many things. For some of you, what I'm getting is that I heard too many cooks in the kitchen. There may be some of that going on, whether it's at work, at home, if you have a big family, or somewhere else, where there's all of this input and feedback. It's just these opinions that are happening and the interactions with people. Now, one of the cards that came out of the Oracle deck, the spiritual pull that I did, was Divinity. And with Divinity for this particular card, what it stands for is leading with love, leading with compassion, coming from a place of non-judgment. That is why, based off of the energy that I was picking up, this is about taking the high road. That's where this epiphany moment is coming in with the Hangman energy, Pisces energy to be exact. Some of you might be a Pisces or have Pisces in your chart. You could be dealing with the Pisces. The other energy that came up is the 10 of Cups. I believe for some of you, it is more you've discovered and determined, especially with this new energy, with this Leo energy, that you would be better served focusing on happiness and focusing on family. 10 of Cups is a family card. And with that, I could see you just focusing on what brings you happiness. Now, for the Oracle, the Shadow card came out. And the shadow is about dealing with inner self. It's about how to coexist with the quote unquote beast, because there isn't a such thing as light only. There has to be light and darkness, light and shadow. You can't really have one without the other. It's a coexisting type thing, and finding balance between all of that. But also, what I'm getting for some of you is that I feel you diving into your shadow a little bit more is helping you identify the disingenuous people who might be around you. And I say that because one of the other oracle cards that came out is Shift. And that is a change in perspective in how you view people and how you deal with people. And right below it, the Princess of Cups is in the reverse. The Magician is in the reverse. And the High Priestess is in the reverse. I believe this shift has been you seeing people for who they are. Maybe there was a situation where you weren't fully seeing people for who they are, and it was sort of you dealt with them, maybe you work with them, maybe it's your family. It's you're coexisting, which is what humanity is supposed to do, is coexist with each other. You weren't that invested in how authentic someone was or is. But now it's sort of being pushed to the surface, especially with you doing shadow work. And it's forcing you to not just see things within yourself, but also see things within other people. And the shift has now become these people around you aren't really that genuine. The blinders have been removed. And confirmation of that is the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Seven of Swords can be about strategy as air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. It can be about strategy, but also it can be about deception. Sometimes both. Deception can be some form of strategy. And where you may not have been, what's the word I'm looking for? I was about to say, okay, the word was in my head, but I was using it the wrong way. So now I have to switch the sentence around. You may have been oblivious, because oblivious was the word in my mind. You may have been oblivious before to the deception, but you're not oblivious to the deception now. And because that shift has happened, how you interact with people has also been changing. Five of Wands, again, came out. That can be conflict. This can be heavy with the Ten of Wands, but again, you have the high ground. You are resilient. 7 plus 9 gives you the Six of Wands, which is victory over this situation. 6 plus 5 gives you the Ace of Wands, which is a new start, being invigorated, a brand new feeling. Some of you might want to go into starting your own business, being some type of entrepreneur. For others of you, you may feel a little bit more sexual during this period, where you want to be in the bedroom a little bit more, especially with all this wands and fire energy. Definitely that can be very passionate and sexual energy too. What I'm noticing is that you want people who are more aligned with who you are now, especially with the shadow. The shadow energy can bring out a lot of things in people that they may not have seen before. And when they start to see things through a different lens, their environment starts to change. That's why in the Oracle deck, the home card came out too. And for the home card, it could be a longing for home. Also, home is where the heart is. Home is in your heart. Some of you might be moving during the month of August, or maybe during the month of September. But this is saying, don't forget who you are, is what I'm getting from that. Don't forget who you are. And going back to the Divinity Oracle card that came out about leading with love, that's what you're being asked to do. You're being asked to take the high road, and intuitively, I believe you already know this. I don't believe this is a thing where you need it for me to tell you to take the high road. And again, it can be difficult because a lot of people, I can be one of them sometimes, it's like when they go low, you drag them to hell. that can be the energy sometimes. But when they go low, you are supposed to go high. This is saying when they go low, you lead with love. When they are disingenuous, when they lack authenticity, you be more authentic and show who you really are and show how comfortable you are with being you. This is saying don't operate from a place of judgment when dealing with these people. Actually, I heard it's kind of sad. I just heard that. It's kind of sad that these people have these unhealed issues. It's kind of sad that these people put on airs. It's kind of sad that these people feel they have to take, and they feel that everyone only wants to take from them. It's kind of sad to live constantly on the defense and constantly not being truthful to others. It's sad because it takes a lot of energy to do that. But when you're authentically you, when you're at peace with yourself, hence the shadow and finding the balance, the shift in energy, that puts you in a much, much better place than these people who surround you. But the main message is lead with love, lead with compassion, lead with grace, and take the high road, even if it is hard. All right, collective, that is your message for the new moon in Leo. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. If any of this resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, be blessed.